Okay, what a beautiful, beautiful day it is in Golden Gate Park. Okay, I wanted to talk about something that I think is really important and key. Let's take a look at the ducks. Let's put this bag down for a second. Put it over here. And I wanted to talk for a moment about, okay, so when you're writing music, you can go through several different phases or several different processes to get to a good composition. And this always happens to me where I'll sit down to deliberately write something. And what I'm writing initially isn't very good. It's not very, just isn't very good musically. And then over time, I will get to a point where I'm really writing something that I like. And the reason I'm making this particular presentation for you is the idea of 90% of writing a particular piece of music, especially for film and television, takes place in the beginning part of the process where you're sketching. And you may have to go through many different iterations before you get to something that you actually like, which means you should spend time prepping for that point where you're actually writing well. And the way that that manifested this week for me was I was working on a cue. It was a very simple cue, not a complicated piece of music, but I wanted to make it interesting. So it wasn't enough just to write and compose in a particular genre or in a particular style. It was making something musically that was had my own musical imprint on it. And in order to do that, I needed to spend quite a bit of time just working, not even looking at the scene, just writing a piece based on an idea I had, but making that idea an interesting idea. Anyways, it took me quite a while before it actually got to a place where I felt like it was ready for the actual score. And so you may have to write for quite some time before you get to something that's really good. In other words, you may have to go through an iterative process of really making lots of mistakes or writing things you don't necessarily like before you get to that really cool piece of music that you do actually like. And I think a lot of people's frustration, especially in film scoring, happens when they're sitting down to write very deliberately and they're not spending that time to just write and sketch before they actually get to the more deliberative part of the process. If this makes any sense, please a comment. I'd appreciate your thoughts, and I look forward to providing you with more content. So anyway, please like and or subscribe. Again, a soft sell at the end of the video. Have a great day and enjoy the ducks.